Hey everybody, David here, and today I'm going to be talking about Arrow Season 8, Episode 1, Starling City. So we are introduced to this episode by making us think that, did we see this episode before? Because it really opened up like the pilot did, with some minor changes. One of the biggest changes, actually, was when we saw Batman's mask on a stake with an arrow poked inside instead of Deathstroke's mask. And that was one of the biggest things that was going to make us realize, okay, this is clearly the pilot, but with some major differences here. And we learn as the episode goes by that it is Oliver on another Earth, which makes total sense afterwards. As soon as he pulled out the picture of him in Felicity, I started realizing that's what it must have been, and then we also find out what Earth it is by meeting Laurel or Black Siren, who is taking up the job at being a hero this time around. So she took what she learned from Earth 1, and she's now using that to her advantage on Earth 2 by being more of a hero instead of a villain, which she was before. And look, I really thought this episode was a great throwback to Season 1. I really enjoyed it a lot, especially seeing Tommy back and Merlin and Mora. I thought all of that was terrific, and then learning that Thea was actually dead on this Earth, that was a little bit of a surprise to me. I knew Willa Holland wasn't going to return this season, or she is. I think I did remember she is going to return for at least one episode this season, so that will be nice when we get there. I'm curious at how the rest of the season is going to play out, though. Are we going to go to different Earths and see what Oliver's life would have been like on different Earths? And if so, are we going to explore is the next episode 2, going to explore maybe a season 2 alternate version of what that could have been? Like, instead of Manu Bennett back as Deathstroke, maybe it's someone else taking the mantle of Deathstroke. I hope it doesn't go that way too much, but I'm going to say I really thought this episode was not only a nice throwback, it had some nice little twists and turns here throughout. We obviously got the Monitor back, telling Oliver about his mission, finding the Dwarf Star. That little moment with Malcolm Merlin, when Oliver thought Malcolm Merlin was probably the Dark Archer. As soon as the Dark Archer came crashing through the window to kill Malcolm Merlin, instantly I knew right away it was going to be Tommy. Because, I mean, who else? If it would have surprised me even more if it didn't turn out to be Tommy. But the fact, I pretty much guessed that it was Tommy, and I was right. And I like that choice, actually. I like seeing Tommy more heavily involved. And so that was really cool. And the action scenes in this episode were terrific. And you know what? Arrow is usually good when it comes to the action sequences. Their stunt team is definitely one of the best in the Arrowverse shows. I think Arrow does the action sequences the best. We'll see if Batwoman can top that eventually one day, but right now Arrow still holds the candle. Who has the best stunt team on their shows? Bruce Wayne also got mentioned in this episode by Prometheus. It was interesting seeing Prometheus. It makes me wonder, while watching this episode, like, how did everything go down in this past? I would like to explore the flashbacks on this Earth, because clearly there's some interesting flashbacks there that I would have liked to know. And why did Adrian Chase turn out the way he did? He turned out to be a hero on this Earth, which I thought was interesting. Because I don't remember why he was evil in the 5th season, but the 5th season is where the show brought itself back up, because if you guys remember, Arrow season 4 is probably the worst season of all time from the Arrowverse shows. But Prometheus season 5 was great, and Prometheus was a great villain. I don't remember his reason for turning into a villain, but seeing him seeing him as a hero here, the Hood, it makes me wonder what led him in this Earth to lead him to that choice. Yeah, and then obviously at the very end of the episode, we get the Earth 2 being wiped out. At first, I was kind of confused because I thought to myself, isn't Jay Garrick from Earth 2? And then I realized, no, he's from Earth 3. So I guess his Earth is fine, because then I was wondering, well, then Jay got to get out of there too. I know Jay was, or no, it wasn't Jay. Yeah, it was Jay. Jay was on The Flash last night also, but I didn't get to watch these shows last night. I guess still wait one more day for The Flash. So I'm curious on what that side of the story is happening. Please, no spoilers. But what I got from Arrow, yeah, I really enjoyed this episode of Arrow, and I'm gonna be honest. I think out of all the Arrowverse shows so far, Batwoman, Supergirl, Flash, and now Arrow, I think Arrow had the best season premiere. Personally, the ending, whatever, this Earth being disintegrated, I thought was a fantastic way to end the episode. So many questions now left for the next episode. Why didn't the Monitor come back and get Oliver? Who knows? I also I almost forgot to mention this. There's so much going in my head right now. I even like that Diggle decided to leave Earth 1. He went to go and ask Cisco, that's what he said, for the device to go to other Earths. And so that's how he came in. Because I actually did think, okay, so this is going to happen again. But then he reveals himself to be, no, he's actually the Diggle that you know. I actually like that Diggle's going along on this journey with Oliver. Because, I mean, out of everybody, that's the one that needs to happen. I'm so happy about that. It was also, I'm going to admit, it was a little bit of a relief. I like the Felicity relationship, but I know a lot of people don't. It was actually a little bit of fresh air without Felicity for once. It's like, because that's the way season 1 started, right? We didn't get Felicity right away. I think she came in like episode 3 or 4. And even when she was introduced, she wasn't like interwoven into every episode. So it was actually a nice breath of fresh air. I'll admit, even as someone who doesn't hate Felicity like some people do out there, I know there's people that don't like Felicity, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Me, I don't mind it, but even me, it was a little nice not having Felicity around this time. It was nice going back to basics. We'll see if Felicity does return. I mean, they have to at least have 1 or 2 episodes with her in it. I'm expecting her to at least pop up 1 or 2 more times before the show ends, so we'll see. But look, I am really happy with this episode, really satisfied, and I can't wait to see what the next episode is going to bring. I feel like I should be reviewing every episode of Arrow this season, but we'll see. If there's episodes that I think are really worth talking about, I definitely will talk about it. Arrow is my favorite out of all the Arrowverse shows. Flash could have taken it at one point when Flash first started, but Arrow has really found its way back up since season 5, and I felt like it's been having a steady pace since then. So, and it looks like this season is on the right track to coming to a conclusion. If this is going to be its final season, I'm loving what I'm getting so far. So I can't wait to see how this season ends. And with that being said, guys, I hope you guys comment below. If you're a huge fan of Arrow, tell me your thoughts on the episode. Comment below your theories or anything. Anything I might have missed as well. Oh! I was going to miss stuff. The future stuff with Mia and William, that was some cool stuff. And Connor, he reveals that his brother is the Deathstroke on the future. Now, we knew there were 2 Deathstrokes, right? There was the brother whose name I'm forgetting, that's in the present day. Oh, no, that wasn't his brother, but that was one of Deathstroke's kids. and there was Grant, who was revealed in Legends of Tomorrow in the future with Connor Hawk. So I'm wondering, wait a minute, brother? Who's? I forgot who Connor's brother was. It would be his half brother JJ, right? The John Jr., who would be the biological son of Diggle and Lila. So I actually had forgotten about that. So when he called him JJ, I was like, oh crap, that's right. Connor and JJ would be brothers, half brothers, I guess, right? So yeah, it was surprising, and I really love the future stuff so far, and can't wait to see where they're going with that storyline in the future, and how it will end up meeting with Crisis. We're gonna have to wait and see, of course. But obviously, Oliver saves the universe because the future is still okay, unless it affects the future too. Who knows? But yeah, can't wait. Now you can comment below and tell me what you thought of the episode, and I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, especially if you're a huge fan of the Arrowverse. I love it all. I don't know if I'll review every episode of the shows. Arrow, I feel like reviewing every episode, and you can definitely bet I'll review the Crisis on Infinite Earths. I have to talk about that when that airs. And I'll review all the seasons as a whole once all of them end their season runs. Arrow obviously is going to end a little sooner than the others, so obviously I'll talk about that eventually as a whole, unless I review every single episode. So we'll see. With that being said, until next time, take care.